Ka-Zar, Lord of the Jungle, is essentially Marvel's take on the Tarzan-style Jungle Man. He first appeared in 1965's X-Men number 10. In this issue, the X-Men learn that a wild man dressed only with a loincloth and accompanied by a saber-toothed tiger was seen by a group of explorers in Antarctica. Traveling there to investigate, the X-Men discovered a hidden tunnel leading to a lush jungle filled with creatures long thought extinct. This was the Savage Land, where dinosaurs and other strange creatures still walked the earth. The strangeness of the Savage Land became further apparent when the team of mutants was attacked by a group of caveman-like warriors riding giant carnivorous birds. Jean Grey, known at the time as Marvel Girl, was taken by the savages. At that same moment, the Jungle Man Ka-Zar arrived with his companion Zabu, a massive saber-toothed tiger, and the warriors fled, escaping with the captive Jean. Ka-Zar introduced himself to the X-Men, and while misunderstandings initially caused a struggle between them, the appearance of Ma-Gore the man-ape drew Ka-Zar's attention. After defeating Ma-Gore, Ka-Zar agreed to take Cyclops and the others to the Swamp Men who had captured Marvel Girl. Unfortunately, while scouting ahead, the Angel too was captured by the Swamp Men. Bound by rope, Angel and Jean were dropped into an arena with a living T-Rex to fight for their lives. With some quick thinking, Marvel Girl used her telekinetic abilities to remove her teammates' bonds so he could attempt to fly them both to safety. Meanwhile, Ka-Zar and the rest of the X-Men arrived at the Swamp Men's stronghold. Ka-Zar called on Zabu, who led a stampede of mastodons to breach the fortress walls. With the combined might of Ka-Zar and the X-Men, the Swamp Men were quickly dispatched. With the team reunited, the X-Men left the Savage Land, and Ka-Zar sealed off the tunnel from which they arrived. Ka-Zar was next seen in Daredevil number 12 the following year, in the Savage Land defending Skull Island from the Swamp Men. Meanwhile, blind lawyer Matthew Murdock was enjoying his time on a cruise ship, only to be attacked by a pirate crew, armed with high-tech weaponry, led by Captain Plunderer. Murdock changed to his superhero identity of Daredevil and battled the pirates, only to be forced to surrender when the pirates held ransom the lives of the crew. The Plunderer took Daredevil back to his ship. From a distance, the ship appeared to be a regular schooner, but it was in fact a high-tech vessel capable of transforming into a fully operational submarine. Moving at incredible speeds, the pirate sub traveled through an underwater tunnel leading to the Savage Land. The pirates and Daredevil arrived at Skull Island, only to be attacked by Ka-Zar and Zabu. Captain Plunder tried to gun down the Jungle Man, but a thrown rock from Ka-Zar caused Plunder's shots to go wild, hitting his cache of explosives and turning Skull Island into a holocaust of fiery explosions. Daredevil was injured in the blast, but Ka-Zar, reminded of the X-Men by Daredevil's costume, rescued the blind hero and brought him to a cave to recuperate. Ka-Zar left Daredevil unattended to obtain the berries from the life-restoring Juju plant. While Ka-Zar and Zabu made short work of the carnivorous plant guarding the berries, Daredevil awakened, only to discover his radar senses had been dulled by the explosion, and he was under attack from Ma-Gore the man-ape. However, Plunderer and his pirates arrived with the only remaining gun in the Savage Land. Plunderer, mistaking him for Ka-Zar in the dark, for some reason rescued Daredevil and chased off Ma-Gore. When Ka-Zar returned, the pirates trapped Zabu, and Plunderer revealed half of a broken medallion he'd received from his parents. Ka-Zar pulled the other half out of his pocket, and Plunderer revealed that the two men were actually brothers. The pirates caged Ka-Zar, who tossed the healing Juju berries to Daredevil, who quickly swallowed them. Taking Daredevil and Ka-Zar, the pirates boarded their sub and returned to Plunderer's London castle, where Plunderer revealed the secret of the broken medallion. Plunderer's father was an explorer who, on an expedition to the Savage Land, discovered a large chunk of otherworldly ore, which seemed almost to vibrate. Bringing it back to his castle for study, Lord Plunderer discovered that the vibrations from the ore completely destroyed all of the metal in his lab. Locking the anti-metal ore inside of a stone vault, Lord Plunderer carved off a small piece of it and crafted a metal which would serve as a key to unlock the rest. Lord Plunderer then broke the medallion in two and entrusted one half to each of his two sons. That was the last time that the young boy who would become the Plunderer saw his father, for soon after that, his father and his brother Kevin went back to the Savage Land, never to return. Determined to obtain the anti-metal his father discovered, Plunderer tossed Daredevil into the dungeon pit along with Ka-Zar, demanding that the blind hero retrieve Ka-Zar's half of the medallion, or die. Trapped and frightened, Ka-Zar attacked, but with his senses fully restored, thanks to the restorative properties of the Juju berries, Daredevil springboarded from Ka-Zar's back, leaping out of the pit and knocking the Plunderer unconscious. Daredevil then helped Ka-Zar out of the pit, reaching down with his billy club and calling Ka-Zar by his true name, Kevin, to calm him. Almost immediately, Plunderer's butler Feepers revealed that he himself had been waiting for his own opportunity to steal the medallion and get his hands on the anti-metal, killing another pirate and attacking Daredevil and Ka-Zar. The two heroes fled the castle, but Feepers proved that he was not working alone and tasked other members of his spy network with finding the medallion. Plunderer, meanwhile, regained consciousness, and having kept his illegal activities hidden from the authorities, saw his opportunity to frame his two enemies for the murder committed by Feepers, and sent the police after Ka-Zar and Daredevil. The two heroes were first found by one of Feepers' agents, who blasted them both and took Ka-Zar's half of the medallion. Unknowingly pursued by Daredevil, the spy returned to Plunder Castle, where he found Plunderer struggling with Feepers. The spy took aim at Plunderer, who flipped out of the way, allowing Feepers to be shot and killed, and giving the spy a hard kick, slamming his head into the wall behind him and knocking him unconscious. Daredevil then attacked Plunderer, attempting to prevent him from unlocking the anti-metal, but the police soon arrived, having discovered and bound Ka-Zar, and Daredevil was forced to flee. With nobody left to stop him, Plunderer opened the vault and took the anti-metal ore, which he then dubbed the Plunder Stone. He then created a new costume and used the Plunder Stone to craft a Vibra Ray weapon to render all metal weaponry useless against him. Daredevil called in his allies, Karen Page and Foggy Nelson, to help defend Ka-Zar's innocence, while he himself infiltrated the Plunderer's gang. While Ka-Zar broke his bonds and tried to escape, only to be gassed and knocked out, the Plunderer and his gang attacked a government missile base. However, Daredevil revealed himself and got the drop on the pirates, defeating and unmasking their leader. Having lost, Plunderer confessed everything, admitting his brother's innocence. With his brother imprisoned, Ka-Zar took up his rightful title of Lord Kevin Plunderer and took residence in his family's home. We learned this in Daredevil number 24, where Ka-Zar was accused of attacking people in the midst of night. Of course, Daredevil uncovered the true attacker, the Plunderer, who had escaped from prison and attempted to frame his brother and regain his castle. Sometime later, however, Ka-Zar left the civilized world, renouncing his inheritance and returning to the jungle he knew and loved, bringing the anti-metal where he would keep it safe from those who would misuse it. As of Savage Tales number 1, the anti-metal was referred to as Vibranium, but it should be noted that the Antarctic Vibranium found in the Savage Land has very different properties to the Wakandan Vibranium used in Captain America's shield. Ka-Zar's origin was expanded on slightly in 1997 when Marvel did an event called Flashback Month, in which each series got a -1 issue taking place before the series proper. In Ka-Zar number -1, it's explained that Lord Plunderer, after giving his two sons, Kevin and Parnival, each half of the medallion that could unlock the Antarctic Vibranium, he decided to separate them for safety, entrusting Parnival to his butler Willis, and taking Kevin with him to the Savage Land. Unfortunately, Lord Plunder was killed during one such expedition. Luckily, Kevin was rescued by Zabu and grew into the man called Ka-Zar, but back in the civilized world, Parnival set on the dark path that would lead him to become the Plunderer. So that was the origin of Ka-Zar, the Plunderer, and the discovery of the Savage Land and Antarctic Vibranium. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a thumbs up and subscribe for more marvelous content. If there's a Marvel character you want to know more about, sound off in the comments below. Also, if you believe that you have too much money and would like to give some to me, then you can do that by going to patreon.com/MaryMarvelite. Until next time, true believers, Excelsior!